Hi everyone and welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you are new. In today's video I am going to be doing a Pits and Peaks update. I haven't done one of these again for I think about 2 weeks now. I think it's just because I don't have many things to update on. Most of the updates that have Pits and Peaks have been running related, and I feel like I already covered that content in my training update, so didn't feel like I had much to talk about other than sort of repeating something that was going to be coming up in another training update. And I didn't want to go into detail in Pits and Peaks about the running issues, because obviously then I would be talking about them in my training updates. But I guess just for sort of consistency I need to keep these updates going, so I'll keep like the Pits and Peaks related to running very short and sweet. I do have a few more things to talk about this week, which makes it a bit easier. I'm just going to have to sort of keep track of them as I go along during the week, because I feel like I leave it until the last minute at the end of the week to think of all the things that might have been Pits and Peaks during the week, and then I could have potentially missed things in between. But yeah, if you are new to my channel, if you're not familiar with this type of video that I do on my channel, I talk about things that didn't go so well for the week being my pits for the week, and things that went better this week being my peaks for the week. I will start with the pits first so I can end on high with the peaks, and we'll get straight into it. So my first pit for this week has been that my runs this week have been really tough. I'm finding it very physically and mentally tough, coming into sort of the longer runs that I'm doing both during the week and for like the longer runs at the weekend. I'm just finding it mentally and physically exhausting. So that's not been great, and my runs as of late have not been the best. I think I'm just quite tired and emotionally drained from just what's going on and just the whole sort of marathon process, so that's not been great really. I'll touch on more on that in my sort of training update. I don't really want to say too much about that. Next pit for this week has been that I had to take Kia to the vets this week, so that's been quite stressful. I found 2 lumps on Kia. I think it was the Friday before the last. I found a little one on her chest and quite a like sizable one about that big on her like hip region. So I took her to the vets for that. She has been into the vets before for a lump. It was like under her armpit, and we had that removed, and it didn't come back as anything sort of serious. It came back as like a fatty cyst. So I sort of suspected that at least the small one that's on her chest would be the same thing, but I was more concerned about the sort of big one that was on her hip. The vet has basically said that he thinks that it is a fatty cyst. He obviously can't confirm 100% without doing tests, but she is she's quite vicious when she's in the vets. She's quite placid when she's at home. She is quite sassy anyway, like if she's fed up of you stroking her, she will sort of tell you off. But in the vets she becomes a whole different cat, and she's very vicious in there. So it's not like they could just do a biopsy on her there and then. It would mean that they would have to sedate her and things like that. So I think I've gone based off the vet's recommendation at the moment. He basically said if it was his cat, he would just hold off on it at the moment. He says that it feels like a fatty cyst, so I'm basically going to keep an eye on the lumps, and then if they sort of change in size or movability and things like that, then I will take her back. She has her vaccinations at the end of the year, so it's sort of a good time if things haven't changed to sort of get her checked out while she's there anyway. So a bit of relief in one sense, but obviously it's not 100% because they've not tested it, so it was a bit of worry at the time, but we're just going to keep an eye on it for now, and she seems to be fine in herself, so hopefully it's fine. And my last pit for this week has just been that generally throughout the whole of this month, probably spreading over several months, I've just been a bit all over the place. In my Pits and Peaks I haven't mentioned anything with regards to nutrition. At several points during several videos I've mentioned that I was going to be returning to tracking, and it's just not been as simple to do that. I just feel like I've fell completely out of that routine, and I'll track for a couple of days, a week at most, and then sort of fall back into not tracking. I don't think I've been eating the best either. Based on the fact that I'm marathon training, I could be fueling my body a lot better than I am. So it is a fresh start. When I've sort of looked back on my past videos and things like that, at this point last year in August I had a proper meltdown on my channel. People that have been watching my channel for a while, you'll probably remember that video, and I was quite upset in that video with how I wasn't making much progress, and I feel like I haven't made any progress sort of physically, body wise, this year at all. I have made progress in other aspects, like I can run further, my fitness is better, things like that, but in terms of like my actual body and how it looks and how I feel about myself, it's still the same as it was in August. So I feel like things really need to change. I've had a chat with Maria, and I had a good chat with my dad as well, and I just feel like I need to sort of get some resemblance of a routine and tracking back in my life. I know I've said that weight loss isn't a priority as such at the moment, because obviously I'm marathon training. I don't want to restrict myself with my food and have that adversely affect my training, but there has to be some sort of control there to make sure that I am fueling my body right for the training and not just completely going wild. So I am going to be implementing some changes. I will have my check-in tomorrow, because obviously it's the 1st of August tomorrow. So I'll be doing my monthly check-in, so I'll take all my measurements, progress shots, all that kind of stuff. But I will have sort of a routine and I guess a challenge to follow, and things that I want to do throughout the month and things going forward, so keep an eye out for that. But yeah, it's just been a bit of a mishmash of a lot of things, and yeah, just no real sort of structure to it. So that's how I've been feeling recently, and hopefully I can just have a proper fresh start from tomorrow. Philip is starting a diet as well because he wants to lose weight, so yeah, hopefully that will sort of spur us both on and we can keep the ball rolling this time, but I'll just have to see how things go with that. But like I said, keep an eye out for the update on that tomorrow for more information, and I think that's all the pits that I've got. So in terms of peaks, the first one, I guess I'll briefly touch on it because it will be coming out in a training update, but I did my long run for this week. I did 15 miles. I'm not going to go into too much detail about it. I'm just sort of happy that I've done the distance. Yeah, every single week I've managed to hit the distances for all of my long runs, so I am happy about that. I am struggling, and I've mentioned that in my training updates that I've done previously. I am really struggling with long distances. I am not a long distance runner. I do not enjoy long distances, so this is really, really tough for me. And obviously because of the physical and sort of emotional turmoil that I've been having with marathon training lately, it's just super tough. So it hasn't been going as smoothly as I sort of hoped, but I'm just happy that I'm getting the distances done for the training. And my final peak for this week is that the kitchen is pretty much done. I have mentioned this many times on my Pits and Peaks videos about the sort of drama that has been going on with Wren Kitchens and our new kitchen fitting. I know I said that I was going to do a video on it, but things just weren't finished with the kitchen, and I didn't feel like I could do an update without having everything fully finished. So now that it is, well, I say fully finished, it isn't. I've got I think 4 doors that need to be replaced, which have been damaged through like remedial appointments and things like that, but for the most part the kitchen is finished. The major issue that we were having that had to have 3 call outs for was the quartz worktop where the joints kept cracking. They hadn't seen the issue before, and yeah, that's been a total nightmare, but this time it does look like the joints are holding up. We haven't had any cracking. It's been over a week now. I think it's been almost 2 weeks, so I think it's safe to say that they are fixed. So I think for the most part we're sort of seeing the light at the end of the tunnel with that. We're just going to wait for these doors to arrive, get a fitter out, and then that should be it for the kitchen, so I'll be able to do a sort of update on that. So yeah, I'm really pleased that that is now done. Obviously, I will be complaining to Ren to get some sort of compensation for the issues that we've been having. Don't think it's sort of fair, and it's not on the way that things have been handled with Ren from start to finish. The kitchen was originally sort of delivered and due to be fitted at the end of April, so it's been ongoing for a couple of months now, when we were originally told like 2 weeks max to get everything finished. So it's been a very, very long, very stressful sort of drawn out process for us. So I'm just glad that we're at the end of it now, and I don't have the sort of stresses of that. So yeah. Other than that, I don't think I have anything else to mention, so I'm going to keep it very short and sweet and end the video here. So if you like the video, give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. You can always click the notification bell down below, you'll be notified of when my videos go live. Other than that, hope you're all staying safe and well. Hope you all enjoy the rest of your weekend, whenever it is that you're watching this, and I will see you again in my next video. Bye.